Days like today are always wonderful when you're adding new additions to the farm. All right, so anybody that's watched us for any period of time knows that William and I just processed a couple of red wattles a few weeks ago, about a month ago, let's say. Anyway, they're in the freezer. We got that covered. We got meat. You know, it's kind of cool that we've only been here less than a year and we've already got all the meat we need for a year. So folks, it can be done, and it can be done really easily. And go back and watch those videos, you'll see it. So now we're in the position of where we're going to need some more pigs. We're going through the sausage a little too quickly, and I still have yet to do the bacon on the last ones. So now today we're selecting, now that I have meat in the freezer, I'm going to select some pigs that take a little longer to grow out, but they have all the traits that I really like. And those are American guinea hogs. William, we found a guy in South Carolina that has 4 of them. He's castrated the boys and the girls are ready to go already. So they're tiny, but the cool thing about these pigs is I can fatten them up much more easily and they get a lot more off of the land. There's also other traits in them that I like as a butcher. Number one, the charcuterie, in my opinion, is far superior. Also, the quality of the chops on these guys, you may not get as many, but they are without a doubt the best pork I've ever tasted. So we're going to give them a shot here. We're going to raise them here. So with that said, William's going to load up the Subaru and go to South Carolina to go pick them up. We'll see how that goes.
All right, so here we have Philip, and we just bought 4 American guinea hogs from him. And tell him about what's going on in this neighborhood.
Yes, I bought a little farm trying to be more self-sufficient, and ran into the American guinea hog and started raising them. And then we put a house out there on our farm and finishing it up, and moved into this little neighborhood here and introduced my neighbor from Florida, Mr. Santa Claus. Come in and say hello. To the American guinea hog, and he immediately jumped on it, and he's got what, an acre back here?
A little more than an acre, yeah.
A little more than an acre, and so we trained him on electric,
Yeah.
and put him out there, and he's raised them. He's harvested 2 of them, and really good.
For those of the people that haven't actually tasted American guinea hog and think all breeds of pork taste the same.
It's great sausage.
Yeah.
Our meat cutter made our pork chops real thin, so it's like slices of ham.
Oh, okay.
And the bacon, there was a lot of fat on it with just a little bit of meat, but the sausage is real good.
Yeah.
The ham were real good.
Okay.
And we did a pork shoulder, pulled pork, and it was good stuff.
Oh, really?
Good eating, yeah.
Yeah, it wins competitions when there's a meat tasting test.
Oh, really?
American guinea hog most always takes the cake.
Have you guys done any charcuterie or aging or anything like that? No?
Not yet.
They're
we're
really
going
good
to.
for
They're going to
that.
teach us.
They're really good for that.
So, reason got an American guinea hog is a homestead pig, and going back to our roots as Americans, and being more self-sufficient, and teaching my our grandchildren. This is my oldest granddaughter, and she's loving it. She'd rather go to the farm than go to the mall.
That's
And
good.
It's a very good thing. Every person that starts to do this, I've helped 10 other people, and he's been helping people. There's people in his church, and his daughter, and everybody. So it's growing.
Yeah.
And I want to send a special thanks to Joel Salatin.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question is where did
Yeah.
you guys learn this information? How did you learn?
Good old Joel. I've never met him.
He's
but
just right up the road.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd go see him.
Watching videos, though, it's good videos.
All right, thank you so much
Yes,
for this
sir.
pig. And
Very
It's
good.
gonna be a stinky drive
It's-
back.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, leave the windows open.
All right, so these guys are now back to their home away from home. This is going to be their home probably through the winter, but not just this stall. See, in this barn, there's 2 stalls, this one and the one next to it. William and I are in the process of finishing up a 3rd stall and probably going to be a 4th. Now, the idea being with these pigs, remember, everything we do here is in accordance with permaculture. Right now, what's happening with these pigs, these guys are kind enough to leave all their droppings near the front door. So since we have that chicken tractor on steroids right now, a really good use of what they leave behind is we put it in buckets and just add it to the compost pile that the chicken tractor on steroids is working on, which is cool. We need the nitrogen anyway. So what's going to happen? These guys are starting out in this stall. As the weather gets colder and colder, we don't want them out in the field. We want them here. So what's going to happen is these guys are going to rotate between each stall. So ultimately, there will be 4 stalls here. And what's going to happen with these guys is we'll keep them for a specified period of time. We haven't figured that out yet. It's not that critical. We'll get them out of this stall. They'll go to the next ones. Chickens will go behind them. We may even have the sheep up here, depending on how we want to do this. The sheep are going to be, we're stockpiling grass, and that's going to be a future video. But the sheep are almost certainly going to be out here for the most part. But we could very well add them to the rotation. So let's say the sheep go first, then the pigs, then the chickens, and then they do just kind of go through a round robin over and over and over again. And so by the time spring rolls around, we should have created some really awesome compost. But now these guys are here, so let's take a closer look at them now that they're settled in. Let's make sure they're not going to run out. Okay, they're still a little bit skittish. And right now they're leaving all their droppings here at the front. Just cleaned it up and added it to the chicken tractor already. But these guys are in here. There's a giant turnip. Looks like, a daikon radish. So they kind of chew on what they want. All right, so these guys are all settled in here. They're a little bit squeamish right now, but they've been getting better and better and better as time goes by. So the cool thing, if anybody's watched before, you know that we don't spend any store-bought food. Now, we did initially when they got here, just to kind of help them make the transition. But if you look in their feed pails, right now, all they have, we got a little bit of comfrey. They were working on this. They got a daikon radish that we pulled out of the food forest. And there's rice and a little bit of tortillas and stuff like that. So these guys, just like the last pigs, are going to be raised almost 100% on either food scraps and what they find out there. Now, these guys are still a little bit small right now to be putting outside all by themselves without some sort of security. So that's another reason we want to keep them in here. These guys, I don't know, they're pretty tough, especially that big bully over there. He's pushing everybody else out of the way. But the cool thing is that we will go through the process right in this barn, probably all the way through winter. And these guys are going to be happy. So right now, we're getting their excrement out of here into the sheep tractor. In time, we will not do that. Chickens will take over after that. They're cute. So my niece Kendra, you can't be watching this right now. These guys are cute. But it's also of critical importance that unless you want a petting zoo, you always keep up here the purpose of these guys. Now, they're cute and everything, but sooner or later, they're not going to be cute. And whether they are or not, we got them for a specific reason. And they will have a joyous time every day of their lives until it's time for them to move on to the freezer. All right, so we're just going to let these guys chill, do their thing. Now, also, remember, the mineral content, like you learned from my homeboy Pork Rind, over here on the wall, we got a little bit of kelp, and of course they have charcoal in here that they've been working on, so it's free choice. They'll figure out what they need. They know exactly what they need. If you want to know more about heritage breeds, just get with my man Pork Rind, go back and watch that video. All right, so remember, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're aware of when we put out new videos, and tell your friends about us. Make sure you subscribe. Anyway, till next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion, because it really is. We'll see you next time.